Do you know the movie 12 Years a Slave? It's based on a true story of Solomon Northup, who was a free black man who was kidnapped and sold into slavery in 1841. He spent 12 years working on different plantations in Louisiana until he was finally rescued in 1853. It's a powerful and heartbreaking film, but how accurate is it? Let's find out. First of all, yes, Solomon Northup was a real person. He was born in New York and had a wife and 3 kids. He was also a talented violinist. The movie shows some of the horrors that he faced as an enslaved individual, like being whipped, beaten, and humiliated. I can't say that word, sorry. He worked for several slave masters, but the worst one was Edwin Epps, a cruel and violent plantation owner. Epps had a twisted obsession with one of his female enslaved individuals named Patsy, who he abused in many ways. He also hated Northup, who he saw as a threat. He tried to attack him on several different times, but Northup managed to survive each one. The movie also shows how Northup tried to get help from different people, but most of them betrayed him or ignored him. He asked a fellow enslaved individual, Armsy, to mail him a letter to New York, but Armsy ended up telling Epps about it. He also asked the Canadian carpenter boss to do the same, but Baz never heard back from them. He almost gave up hope until one day, a man named Parker came to the plantation. Now Parker, he was a friend of Northup's from New York, who had been looking for him for years. He had proof that Northup was a free man, and he was able to take him back home to where he belonged. The movie ends with a touching scene where Northup reunites with his family who had grown older without him. He apologizes for being gone too long and hugs them. He also meets his grandson, who is named after him. The movie says he became an abolitionist and wrote a book about his experience called 12 Years a Slave. It also says that he sued his kidnappers but lost the case because he was not allowed to testify as a black man. It also says he disappeared in 1857 and his fate is unknown. So the movie is pretty accurate. It's a remarkable and inspiring story of a man who endured unimaginable suffering but never lost his dignity or his hope. It's also a reminder of the dark and shameful history of slavery in America and the millions of people who were denied their freedom and humanity.